Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Nourishing Time with Salima. Today, we're going to be talking about what it means to live life on our own terms, how to do it, and what it actually means. So, thank you for listening and sharing and reading my work. Let's get started. As I was resting in corpse's pose after an intensive detox twisting class this week, the following thought arose. What does it really mean to live life on your own terms? Not quite sure why that prompt suddenly entered my stream of consciousness. Maybe because I was trying to work through some life stuff at the time and also stuff I've had to deal with over the last few weeks. And there was a lot of twisting in this class, dear Elena Brower. Thank you so much. In a yoga practice, twisting poses can often provoke stirrings that are bubbling away just underneath the surface and bringing them to fruition, often triggering emotions such as anger buried deep in our psyche, our muscles, and more importantly, our organs. Laying there, I realised actually it was perfectly normal to be drifting along on this wave of thought. Feeling the remnants of some of the strands from my most recent posts on blooming and blossoming and what that means, and just basically gathering reflections from the past, interwoven with the threads of possibilities for the future. Anger, regret, jealousy are all negative thought patterns that await us at the door to our minds. They're trying to seduce us. They try to seduce us back into fear and unhappiness, affecting our inner and outer behaviours that ultimately affect and create the landscapes that we choose to live in. Don't get me wrong, I also have had my dark days of late, dealing with going through the menopause to supporting a depressive family member. However, despite that, I can normally pull myself up by my bootstraps, somehow finding one thing to be positive about or to focus on. I have to say that my writing on here has been a lifesaver of sorts so far, along with my newly found love of gardening. Nevertheless, a thought that kept raising its ugly head, its stubborn, ugly head in the background of my mind, my mind natter, was victimization. In this case, I'm referring to being held prisoner by my own internal natter, mind stuff, or chittam in Sanskrit and yoga philosophy. Often triggered and facilitated by negative experiences and thought patterns that we have had consciously or unconsciously for God knows how long, these patterns can often keep us on the hamster wheel of misery, a never ending repeating cycle of not really feeling like we are living how we really want to. Building fear within, a fear that we don't have what it takes to break free, and often believing that we don't deserve to thrive. Of course, just to clarify here, I'm not referring to victims of any abuse or crime, but instead our chittam, our mind stuff, as I previously mentioned. In Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, there is a sutra slash verse that really targets this ability, or this nuisance, I should say. The mantra allows us to try and tame our mind, and that is Yogash Chitta Vritti Narodaha. Yoga is to yoke, to join, to unite. Chitta is the consciousness, the mind stuff. Vritti are these waves or fluctuations of the mind, and Narodaha is the quietening of. So the full chant is Yoga Chitta Vritti Narodaha. Yoga Chitta Vritti Narodaha. So if your mind is really busy and you are really struggling to get some sort of perspective on whatever circumstance you find yourself in, then quietly chanting or just saying this word for word may help start to change the frequency of those thoughts. A prompt that arose from deep within my psyche from witnessing these arising thoughts was, how can then I live more fully on my own terms? And what does that actually mean? What if it was basically about how I could expand my passion and what actions would I need to take? Maybe it could be a review of the boundaries I have with myself and others. So, with that in mind, I came up, friends, with some following prompts which you may also find helpful. These are prompts for how to expand your passion. Number one, look at where you are honestly now with your passion or passions. Two, how can you expand the scope of it/them? Three, what could you do differently? Four, what would it take? And five, can you envision it? If you can see it and hold it in your mind's eye, believe in it, then trust and allow your manifestation and your intention to do the rest. 3 small prompts for how you can work with boundaries with self and others. There is another post on this in my archive, so feel free to refer back to that. Number 1, where and how much energy am I giving to others, myself, and my passions? And again, be honest. 2, are there any changes that need to be made? 3, how can I support myself fully as well as supporting others? Then, I like to finish off with a little poem that I wrote while I have been pondering on this written material for the last couple of days. I hope that you enjoy it, and this is how we'll end our session today together. Living life on your own terms. Expanding passion. Expansion like a blue, never-ending sky. Shining bright. Illuminating and honouring my vision and passions. Uplifting spirits along the way. Blessing me with ideas. Bringing possibilities for growth. Where was I last time you visited me? What has changed? When was the last time I truly smiled? Passion for who and what? When was the last time I truly smiled? Realizations often ignited from a sunny sky. Revelations coming. Questions to answer. What do I want to grow within? What do I want to see blossom? Always present as I head to my next destination. Where will you take me next? Thank you, blue sky, for helping me expand my vision. Just to let you know, if you are listening to this on Friday the 26th or Saturday the 27th in the morning, then just to let you know, I am doing a live event on Substack, a 30-minute gathering to come together. More information is on my Substack homepage. It's free and it's an opportunity to come together, to unite, to discuss, create a safe space to hold each other for mini transformations. And the session tomorrow will be based on last week's podcast and post to get us started. And it's basically a 30-minute meet as a preview to what will start to be a more regular feature on my Substack from September 2024. And that will be a monthly meet to come together. Coaching, inspiration, readings, journaling prompts, practices. If that sounds like your thing, then I hope that you will join me. The link will be in my chat thread tomorrow. However, if you want to make sure that you don't miss it, then please subscribe free or head over to my previous post where the Zoom code and link is included. That about wraps it up for this podcast. I'd just like to take this opportunity for thanking you in supporting my work, my voice, my ideas, and I hope that they are of some benefit to you. Please feel free to share with anybody that you feel it may help, and I will see you next time.